Hello, hello. Welcome back. Enrique Suave back with you. And I had a request, actually, from a friend who is just starting off with this game and wanted to know more about the starting items and kind of how they operate and how you use them. So I thought, great, let's make a video. Let's do a run where we only use the level 1 items, the very first items you get as a beginner. And I'm going to show you kind of my approach to the level, how to use these items, and kind of like maybe my personal favorites and the ones that I go to more than not. So let's jump right in. By the way, hope you're having a great day. I'm having a great day. Side note, I got to have lunch with one of my best friends. Shout out to Drew. Thanks for making time for me, buddy. Great to see you. All right, let's hop in to the settings here. So I've set up a custom difficulty, and that way we won't get hunted. So we can go in the house, we can investigate, and we'll never get hunted. Now, in doing so, I don't get any points or any experience from this. So there's no way to cheese the system here, but this is just going to give us a chance to use all these items, get to know them a little better, and be able to move forward from there. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Tanglewood because, again, it is kind of the, I don't know, one of the best maps to start learning from, and it's a fan favorite. So let's jump in. All right, so as we approach any map, we're going to look on the right, and we're going to look for the breaker. You can see it's right here in the garage. So we just always want to remember that. Now, in this difficulty, I don't think the lights are off by default, but again, always good to look that up and see what's going on there. So, okay, these are our starting items, and really the flashlight is the most basic. That doesn't give you any evidence anyways, so to be real, these are our starting items. These are the 7 items that we use to gain these 7 pieces of evidence. Okay, so let's just start left to right. I'm going to grab these 3 right here. Okay, and that is the EMF. This is the level 1 EMF. This is the spirit box. And this is the thermometer, or the temperature gauge, or whatever you'd like to call it. We'll come back for these in a little bit. Okay? And we can look at the flashlight if you want to. Alright, we're just going to go in the house and mess around. Again, the ghost can't hunt us. So that's important to know. Okay, so of the 3 items here, Spirit Box is something that you typically would not use until you know the ghost room. So just know that it's probably not even an item you would bring in at the very beginning. The 2 most common things to find the ghost room are going to be the thermometer or the EMF. And here's why. Thermometer, pretty straightforward. You're looking for a temperature change, pretty significant to whatever you're in. So if most of the house is like 15 and then you find a room that's 10, 5 degrees is significant. That's a room that you're going to want to go into and investigate more. If it was like 1 to 2 degrees off, that wouldn't be startling. That's just like something to keep in mind, but temperatures can fluctuate 1 to 2 degrees. So with this, and this is the tier 1 thermometer, it moves a little slower. You have to kind of just sit and watch it, but you don't actuate or do anything. You just sit and watch it go up or down. So that's one that people like to use, and if you know my streams, that's the one I like to use probably the most to find the ghost room. The other one is the EMF, and the key with the EMF is you're listening for some kind of activity, and then you're going to that room, that item. If you see an item thrown, if you see a door open or close, you're going there and you're having this on. It'll confirm that there was ghost activity there, and that helps you identify the ghost room a little quicker. So we're going to start. Well, let's start with EMF. Let's use this. It's the first item on the left side there of all the items. Let's just start with it. Let's see if we can find the ghost room with just the EMF. Also, if you didn't know, the game does not start, like the timer doesn't start ticking, your sanity doesn't start going lower until you open the front door. So you can sit here and prep, and you know what I like to do sometimes? I like to bring all my items to the front door. And that way, I just don't have to run back and forth later. So this is just something if you want to do in the future, you can consider. By all means, there's no huge advantage. It just, I don't have to come back to the truck at a later time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. What's good about doing it now, again, is your timer's not running. So I think, honestly, it makes a lot of sense to do it now. Some of the high-end streamers out there, I've seen people do it. So for some people like to do it, some people don't. I am going to bring the flashlight. We'll talk a little bit about it, but again, there's not much there. It's not part of evidence or anything. All right, let's start with our 3 EMF, spirit box, thermostat. Here we go. I always like to turn the first light on too. That kind of, oh. What was that? Did you hear that? It's real important the moment you get in the house to listen. I swear I heard something over here. Notice the rooms are dark. Normally I would turn this on right away. But darkness does amplify the ghost activities. And I would like to get some ghost activities. So, since we can't get hunted, I'm actually going to do this in the dark. Now notice nothing has popped on my meter. So I'm going to guess it's not over there. Excuse me. Still listening. I don't hear anything. Let's go. Again, no meter. Oh. Whoa. Listen. Oh, he's in the door. See him? Aha. Now notice this isn't this. Oh, this wasn't on. Look. It's reaching a 4. Ooh, almost a 5. Yeah, it's good to have the thing turned on. I mean, you know, rookie mistake. Okay. So you could see how you could find the room with this EMF item, right? Also, you would look for a temperature change. Now let's look at the temperature. It's actually going up. And that's because the house temperature usually starts a little bit lower and will slowly rise over time. So for the fact that it's going up, I don't think, even though the ghost was here, I don't think this is the ghost room particularly. Let's. Oh, he's over there still. That's scary. Now let's just check this room. See, you hear all that activity over there? That's telling me something's up. But let's look at this. Temperature's still not going down, is it? Wow. Okay. Is the temperature not going to go down in this room either? Okay, a little bit. Not a lot, though. Okay, so even though we've had 2 activity events happening over there, I'm still saying this is not the room, believe it or not. I'm going to leave that in there. Ooh, lights just turned on out here. We're still looking for the room. Let's see if it's out here. Thermometer is... Nah. It's not going down enough. So because those events happened in this room, my gut is telling me he's around here somewhere. Somewhere close. Let's check this living room out. Still, nothing really. Whoa. Did you hear that? Wait. What am I hearing? Whoa. Okay. So that's a great hint. Once a ghost turns on the water somewhere, they're close by. Look at my temperature gauge. Excuse me. Look at that temperature gauge go down. Drastically different than the other rooms, right? As it goes down, you should also see a little bit of cold breath of your own start to come to be. So we'll probably see a little cloud of puff in front of me for my breath. To turn this off, you just right-click on the thing. It's still going down. Very likely this is the ghost room, y'all. Very likely. Now let's go get... Wait, not there. Notice I went through that room with this and nothing happened, but also I had it turned off, so it doesn't count. Okay. So if another event happens in here, we'll see the EMF go off. Let's just take a look at this real quick. Still going down. That's great. We're going to turn the lights off just to get more activity. I think that happened back here. Did it? No. I guess it did happen in this room. I think it closed this door or something. It did something. This can raise. Watch this. How silly is that? Alright. Did you guys see that puff of smoke? This is the room, for sure. Let's look here. Yes. Okay, we're hoping that the temperature goes down to 0. Ooh, they turned off the light. Oh. That's meant to scare you, and it lowers your sanity a little bit. Let's put this by the light switch. Okay. It was up there by a 4. Still up there like a 4, but not quite to a 5. Temperature's still going down. It's kind of settling around 5. Okay. Now that we know that this is the room, we're going to use the spirit box. So I'm going to turn the lights off. Remember, the lights have to be off for spirit box. And we're going to use it. I always like to ask all 3 questions in a row twice before I'm satisfied that it's not here or it's not spirit box. It just turned on this light. What was that? That was cool. Okay, so let's turn it on. With controller, which is what I use, you just press X to turn it on. Then I start tapping X to ask the bottom question over and over. I'm asking the middle question now over and over, and I'm asking the triangle question over and over. Notice on the spirit box I'm getting a red response. That does mean the ghost recognizes me, but it's not a response for evidence purposes. You would have to see... Oh, did you see that? He just threw something. That's crazy. Look, it's in the corner here. You would have to see a white light pop up on the microphone to know that it's for sure you got good spirit box evidence. Alright. Turn this one. Oh, there it is. Gross. Alright, so I'm going to say no spirit box because I asked all the questions multiple times. This is getting pretty close to a 5, but not quite. Let's turn the light back on. How's the temperature? Ooh, it's almost there. Look at that. It's almost to freezing. Okay, I'm going to go get some more pieces of evidence, and let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh wait, they're right here. Alright. Let's do camera. We'll do that, and we'll do dots. Dots are always hard to pick up. Okay. So the camera, when you're looking for ghost orbs, you literally just press the button to activate the camera, and in the little viewfinder, you're trying to find little white dots that are floating. It's easier to see it with the light off. There it is. See it? And your thing said ghost orbs, so that kind of helps you. Look, it's turning the light on for me. That's crazy. Can we get a 5? Can we get an EMF 5? No? Okay. So we had ghost orbs, right? So let's go ahead and mark them. Ghost orbs. But that's how the camera works. That's literally all you do is you use it. Now, if something, this is great. When something else happens on camera that you can use for evidence, not evidence, just to be able to gain points and get, more experience in the game, it'll light up on the camera like that, like door moved like that, and you can record it. You can see this ghost is being really active. I turned it that way on purpose so we can get some activity. Okay. But anyways, the point is, you only use the night vision to really see the ghost orbs. Once you see them, you turn it off and you can record anything else that happens in here. This brush that got thrown across the room, if I had recorded that, it would give me extra points. Things like that. But if you're just trying to find the ghost, essentially, you're looking for ghost orbs. Once you find them, again, you can see how hard it is on this tier 1 camera to find them. There it is. They'll float. There'll be little floaties here and there. But once you find them, again, you don't have to have night vision anymore. Not a huge deal. Okay. Ghost writing, you simply put the pad of paper on the ground. Now, you don't throw it on the ground. You do have to use the other interaction for controllers. It's left trigger. You hold it. You place it wherever you want. Let go. And now it's on the ground ready to be written on. What's great is this is easy. You put it down, you walk away, you don't have to interact, nothing. Nice and easy. Let's check temperature. Still at about a 2. And you can see it kind of bobbing, getting close. So we really need it to go below 1 degree to 1 degree Celsius to get what we want. So not freezing. Yeah. Let me show you real quick. See how the little door moved, and so I recorded it. Any kind of activity you can record with a video camera, if you want to get extra points. This thing. Oh, look! Ah! See, I recorded it. Okay, so we have ghost writing. So again, this is a great thing. You just come in, drop it, the ghost writing, put it down, the ghost will do its work. Also, when you go to put it down, look how there's a white line ahead of it there on the hallway. There's a radius to which it activates. You want to kind of put it in the middle, if possible, of the room. Still no 5 on this. Still no EMF 5. Okay. Okay. So we have orbs, we have ghost writing, and let's go see if we have some UV. And I'll bring the flashlight as well. Give you a little pro tip on the flashlight. So for UV, what you're really doing is you're looking for, if they close the door, you're looking for a handprint on the door. If they turn the water on, like that, sometimes they'll leave a handprint on the mirror. If you hear a little thunk, they'll actually knock on the window, and they'll leave a handprint on the window. Since we have no salt with starter items, you can't do the salt and look for footprints. You can only look for these on doors and so forth. And it's like a residue that's left on any door they've interacted with, but it does go away over time. So it looks like these doors, if there was UV, there is none available to see. So, okay. So what are we waiting on here? We got ghost orbs, we got ghost writing. Let's just look. Any activity? No. No handprints. Let's see if we get a 5 on this door. No. Okay. And let's do dots. Okay, dots are cool. They're one of the coolest ones for me. Essentially, if the ghost paths through this array of green dots, you will see a silhouette of the ghost. This first level of dots is really hard. You can see the cone is really small. So you actually have to be very particular on where you put those. And you got to think of what angle can I put the dots at to see the most stuff? So for example, if I put them here, like this, you can aim it, first of all. If I put it like that, I'm only going to see it walk this way, right? But that's it. That's not bad. But what if I could put it here, right? Can I put it here, like on the, like this? Hold on. And then aim it this way. I'm holding the left trigger, by the way, to do this, and then you move it where you like. And then I have the whole room covered in dots. Something like that. Or you could do like, put it here, and then shoot this way for the room. Whatever makes more sense to you. I also like the idea of putting them outside the door and facing them in the door. That way, if the ghost walks in or out of the walkway, I'll see it walking in the door. Does that make sense? Getting a lot of activity with this. I'm surprised we haven't got a 5 yet. Okay. So when you're waiting to get evidence, sometimes you just have to redo the evidence and see if you missed anything. So we're going to do Spirit Box one more time. And again, I'm just hitting the buttons over and over. First X a bunch of times. I see the little red dot come up. That means no response. I'm hitting square a bunch. Red dot, no response. I'm hitting triangle a bunch. I've hit this almost 10 times before and then suddenly got a response. The ghost is always moving around, and so if it's not in range of this, it won't respond. So it's not an automatic thing that the moment you do it, it just works, and you have to be patient with Spirit Box a little bit. Alright, I don't think it's Spirit Box though, because I've used it a bunch. I'm actually going to mark out Spirit Box. I don't think it's Spirit Box. So it looks like we have a Revenant or a Thay. Now let's see what it could be. Could it be Ultraviolet? No, because that eliminates both of them. So it's not Ultraviolet. Is it Freezing Temps? If it was freezing, it'd be a Revenant. Okay. Could it be Dots? If it was Dots, it would be a Thay. But it could not be EMF 5. So you could see, you could deduce what it is by, if it was these three, it'd be none of them. See? So let's do that. We know we're looking for dots or freezing. Pretty straight up. So here's some interesting thoughts on dots or freezing when you're in a predicament like this. We've been in this room for a long time, and I have the settings set up to where it will not change rooms. It can't. So this is the ghost room 100%. If the ghost room isn't freezing by now, I don't know. I kind of say to myself, it's not going to go freezing. It just isn't. And so even though we've not seen the dots ghost yet, right? We've not seen it walk in the room. If I had to put money, if I had to bet, I would bet it's dots. That's just playing the odds. I just turn the light off here. Let me grab this real quick. Turn the light back on. Might be better. I kind of like this angle that I found right here. This way. And so really, we should see that ghost. Again, that's my breath, so don't get fooled. When I first started playing, I got fooled by the breath of air all the time. We really should see that ghost on dots, if it's dots. Normally you don't have this much time, right, to sit and figure it out, but in this case we do. You can hear this activity over here. Come on, Ghosty. Show yourself. I'm a little nervous to look at my evidence page because then we're gonna miss the ghost if it walks by. Let's look at. It's not freezing still. Oh, look. Did you see the feet? Yes. There was feet walking through these dots. Yes. So we know it's dots, so we know it's they. Okay. If you didn't see them, I'm happy to wait a little longer so we can see them again. There was a ghost silhouette in here. So, I hope this video really shows that, like, you can use the items correctly, but remember, out of the 7, there's only going to be 3 that ever actually activate or are used. So you have to be able to say to yourself, you know, I've tried Spirit Box over and over with no luck. In the dark, it's probably not Spirit Box. And feel confident to move forward from there. Once in a while, it'll still get you, and you should have waited a little bit longer, and suddenly it would... Look, there was... I know y'all saw that one. And you can see how fast it is. See, there it goes again. You have to really be aware. So, we know we have ghost orbs, we know we have ghost riding, and we have dots, so we know it's a they, and we move on. So let's do one more. The next one won't be as thorough, it'll be a little quicker, because I know this video has already taken a little bit of time, but I really want to give you guys an idea of how this works. The starter items. Yep, and it was a they.
There's some jobs ready for you.
See, I got 0 XP, and that's totally fine because the ghost can't hunt me. Okay, we're going to start again. All starter items. Here we go.
All right, we're here.
Oh, I forgot to show you the thing with the flashlight. I'll show you that right now, actually. I'm going to grab these 3. Let's look at the breaker. Still in the garage. Okay. I'm going to do the thing again where I kind of preload the front door with items. Again, you don't have to do this. I kind of do this probably 50% of the time because I like to have all my items a little closer. Just turn them on, that way I know which one it is when I go to reach for it. You can see my timer is still at 5, my sanity is still 100. The sanity always goes up and down a little bit, that's why it's 99. But I'm just showing you that, like, the timer again does not start until you hit that front door. Also, these are side quests that you can do while you're trying to find the ghost. You can capture video of the ghost, you can get 3 total videos, and then use a motion sensor, but these change every round to get extra money. Today we're not worried about that. And we don't have a motion sensor anyway, so can't do that. Lights on already, so that's good. We don't have to do the breaker. I'm going to stick with the same 3. EMF, spirit box, temperature. Wait, what am I missing? Oh, yeah, flashlight. Oh, really quick, let me show you the tip with the flashlight. Now, normally, if you have something like this, and you turn it on, if I cycle, and I come back to it, it's off. Practically everything turns off if you cycle. Like, Spirit Box comes back, but like right in this exact moment, you can tell there's no sound, right? There it is again, right? Okay. But watch this. If I turn the flashlight on and I cycle, it still works. So this is kind of nice when you're new and you want to have a flashlight around just to make sure You can always have the flashlight as your third option, or third item, which means you're only bringing 2 at a time, but you always have a light. You always have a light wherever you go. Now, if you get hunted, you have to remember to switch back and turn it off, because the ghost will see it. But, just a pro tip, you can leave the flashlight on and do other things, and it'll remain on for you. So, alright, let's turn that off for now. Let's turn that off, and let's get our temperature gauge. We're going to try to find the room with the EMF. Here we go. I'm listening. Any sounds in the house? Again, some people leave doors closed, some people leave them open. I think as long as you do one or the other, you'll be fine. Still listening. This is the bedroom side of the house. Seems like it's good. Let's listen in the kitchen. There's like no activity. What? What was that? Did you guys hear that? Maybe down here. Heard something get thrown. Go in the garage. Take a peek. Oh, here's the bone. I'll pick it up. So, if you don't have a very active ghost, this is what we run into with the EMF. Where is the ghost room? Thought I heard something over here. Oh, look at that picture on the ground. That was thrown on the ground. So the tricky part with the EMF is it only activates... Oh. Something just turned this light off. Okay. So this is a great example of why it... Oh, lights are flickering in here. Definitely helps. And if you hear a lot of activity... Oh, here's an open door. That's a good sign. But if you hear activity, EMF's great. If you don't, it doesn't really help you much. Now, I could use Spirit Box, but again, that's not it. This is what we need, I think. Let's just check the kitchen since we have an open door. Temperature's going up. This is not the room. Dining room area. Still going up. Not the room. Living room. Still going up. Not the room. Master bedroom. Uh-oh. Look at the temperature. Dropping quick. And just so you know, this master bedroom is part of this closet, so they are considered the same room. Just so you know. Huh. Okay, this has got to be the room. If I were to go in here, into the bathroom, it would not keep going down. It would go back up. Yeah, lights are flickering. Okay, here's our room. Again, this is why I think temperature thermostat's the best one to start with to find your ghost room. Okay. Now that we got the ghost room, let's go get some more stuff. And actually, let's try this real quick. Again, I try to use it from the middle of the room so I can, the radius around me, I can reach the most area. Just going through all the buttons. move and just triple check. See, did you hear that activity right there? If the ghost is doing that so close to me that I'm not getting spirit box, it's probably not spirit box. So that's just the reality. All right, let's go get some more stuff. We'll do UV, ghost writing, dots. No, actually, let's do that. Okay. Okay, so remember with UV. Oh, excuse me. What the heck was that? With UV, you're really only looking for handprints on doors. Also, if they turn off a light, you will see a fingerprint on the light switch. And if they knock on the door window, or the window, you'll see a handprint on the window. It's not in this room, but this light's flickered several times. Oh, look! There it is. There it is. Okay, so we have UV. So let's mark it. Now notice it's in the bathroom. I still don't believe this is the room, even though it's marked here. I do believe this is the room. Let's check. Look at our temperature in here. It's low. Let's just go in here and I'll show you guys. Look how the temperature starts going up. That tells you this is not the room. So again, these are separate rooms. The bathroom and the master are separate. But we did get our evidence of UV, so that's great. You can see my cold breath is starting to kick in because it's getting so cold in here. And again, for this to be considered freezing, it has to be it has to be 1 degree or lower Celsius. Heard some activity over here. I don't know what it was. Nothing major though, it seems. Okay. Let's put our ghost writing book down. Again, you can see that radius that it affects. So again, putting it in the center of the room gives it most access to the ghost. Oh, look! Got one over here too. So cool. So cool. Okay. So we'll get our dots and our flashlight. If you want to bring the flashlight in, it doesn't hurt to I like to leave a flashlight on aimed at the room that I'm at in case the lights all get turned off. I still have a little light source to tell me what's going on. Okay, let's look for ghost orbs. We're going to hit our night vision. And they're really hard to see with this really small camera. Again, you will get an upgraded camera over time. Here, let's turn the light off. It's really easier to see orbs with the light off. And let's turn this one off too. Oh, what was that? There it is. See that? And there they are. Little ghost orbs. Okay. Okay. Ghost orbs it is. Alright, let's put our... Here's our dots. You can see it's a pretty big room. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here and aim it towards this area. Okay. So that way I can see a lot of the room if that ghost wanders through. With the light off as well, again, we should get more activity. But remember, normally you wouldn't be able to turn the light off because it would drain your sanity fast, and you'd get hunted. Getting a 3.5. Whoa! See that door get slammed? Still nothing crazy with EMF. Let's look at our temperature. Oh, look at our temperature right now. It's way below zero. Way below zero. Look at that. We have freezing temps. And now we have a Hantu. Now, if you ever get ultraviolet, freezing temps, and orbs, once you get better at this game, you will know that sometimes orbs are fake and the mimic is involved. So you want to check Spirit Box. So I'm going to check Spirit Box one more time. Again, you wouldn't know this being a beginner, just because I've played so much. I'm familiar with this. There's one ghost in the game that gives fake evidence, and it's the mimic. And so orbs is always that fake evidence. So if you get a combination of certain ones and you go, it could be a mimic, I want to make sure. That combination is ultraviolet. See, if I don't have orbs and I do Spirit Box, it's the mimic, which gives fake ghost orbs. So it'll be kind of crazy. You'll have 4 pieces of evidence, actually. You'll have all 4, and you're like, what? That doesn't make sense. It's because the orbs are fake, and we know it's the mimic. But I'm not getting Spirit Box. And I'm sitting here in the room, and the ghost can't move rooms. See, you hear all this activity the ghost is doing? It's not talking to me on this thing. I'm going to get closer to make sure I'm not out of the radius, but I don't think it's Spirit Box. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. So let's confirm what we got. Freezing temps, we just saw that. We have orbs. And we have ultraviolet, which I think is super cool here because we're seeing handprints. There you go. There's another one. We're seeing handprints in all the doors that it moves. So cool. So cool. Notice the handprint's still there, and if I walk away, it's still there. If you use your UV and you put it on the print for a little bit, excuse me, you charge up the print so then you can drop this and take a picture of it and it remains there. Also, pro tip, if you want this to remain lit for a long time, it's going to seem silly, but if you look straight up and let go of your thing right next to it like this, straight up, all the way, and press O or drop it, look what it does. So cool. So it'll keep something like that lit for you to go grab your camera and take a picture of that print. That's just a little cheat code with the UV. So, all right. We have all our stuff, folks. We have a Hantu. Let's get out of here. Obviously, my sanity would be much lower. Again, I have custom settings turned on. So, there it is.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Okay. So, hopefully this was good. Really quick rundown on these very basic tier 1 items. Dots projector. You need to put it down and angle it in the direction you want those dots to show. EMF reader. Not only do you want to turn it on, like I forgot to the first run, but when something happens, like a door closes or a thing is thrown, go over to that item and put that EMF reader close to it, because sometimes it'll go from like a 2 to a 4, a 2 to a 5. So you want the EMF reader to be closer to the action, to the item. Flashlight, again, gives no evidence, but if you want an extra light, you can always, like I showed you, put it in your inventory, turn it on, hit triangle or rotate your item, and then it'll stay on, which is a nice thing. Ghostwriting book, the best kind of simplest evidence to get. You walk in the room, you place it down, you walk away. You don't have to do anything else. Ghostwriting book we'll talk about evidence later on, but what's cool about ghostwriting book is not only can you take a picture of the ghostwriting afterwards and get points, you could take a video of the ghostwriting as it's happening, and you can also get a sound recording of the ghostwriting while it's happening. So we'll talk in the future about that, but that's how you end up doing like perfect runs and getting more evidence is you use some of these items in special ways. Spirit box, the lowdown on that is it's just it's not as clear cut as like the ghostwriting book. Again, you know the book, you put it down, you just walk away. Simple. Spirit box, there's a parameter around you that the thing is emitting. So if it's a bigger room, you might have to go to different parts of the room and try the spirit box. Also, if it's a small room like that bathroom, you can just go in the middle, you'll be fine. But like the bigger master bedroom, you may consider moving around a little bit. And I usually ask, like I said, all three questions in that list twice over before I'm really certain that it's not the spirit box. Thermometer, to me, the number one item for finding the ghost room, best item in the game. You will see a significant difference in temperature in the room that is the ghost room. Again, remember, it needs to be below 1 degree Celsius to be considered freezing. I don't know why it's not 0, but it isn't. It's 1. So that's a thermometer. UV light, much more useful once you can use salt to get footprint. But as a starter item, you're looking for handprints on doors, on windows, and on the light switches themselves. If the lights get flicked off, you can turn over and you'll see it on there. One of my previous videos has a fingerprint on a light switch. It's really cool. And then the video camera, you're turning on the night vision to look for the orbs. Orbs are a little tricky. They're hard to see. I actually like to move around the room in case the camera picks up the orbs. It'll show the little white square and say orbs. So you're like, cool, I see them. And remember, orbs are like whimsical, wispy. They move kind of like this. They're never going to be those dots that are sitting there and they're static. They're not moving. Orbs will always be moving. So that's kind of how you see the difference. And then you record those orbs, hopefully for a little extra points. And that's it. That's your tier 1 items. It's been a long video. I appreciate you hanging around, but I wanted to give you all my insights on these. And happy ghost hunting. If you have any questions, anything else, please let me know. And let me just think if there's anything else to say. I think that's it. Again, I just really appreciate y'all being with me today. We'll talk to you later. Bye.